What's going on, guys? My name is Al De Niro, and welcome to another episode of the Midnight Hour. I'm joined today by Steve Garrigan, who is the lead singer from the band Kodaline. It's his fourth time, I think, on this podcast overall, and we talk about a lot of things. Talk about what he's been up to, talk about what it's like to be on tour, the things that you do during downtime, and Pokemon. Lots of things. It was a pretty fun conversation. Steve is currently recovering from surgery, so he's like heavily medicated and had to record the episode while lying down. So because of that, it's like a very chilled out and quiet episode, and I think that you guys will really like it. So with that out of the way, let's get into the episode. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm joined today by Steve Garrigan, the lead singer from Kodaline. How's it going? We're in your house, and thank you so much for inviting me back after the last time. I didn't think I'd ever see the inside of this house again, but...
I don't even know how you got in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, I mean, how did you get in?
All I'll say is you need a new doorman.
Okay.
Because the one that you have is dead.
Gee, wow. No, dude, it's awesome. I had a lot of fun last time, and... the time before. I'm a big fan of the Midnight Hour. I genuinely listen to it every night. Only recently, one of the episodes that really kind of struck me was, I think you were talking about anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Not that I went looking for a podcast on anxiety and depression. I just stumbled upon it, and it kind of caught me off guard, but it was amazing. And
cheers, dude.
Some of the things you said were very, very cool, and I totally agreed with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one where I literally just sat down and I pressed record, and it's the first Midnight Hour episode ever where it's just me talking, and it was like afterwards I felt like a weight had been lifted or something. It was I don't know, it was pretty crazy like that. I'd never touched that topic before.
Yeah.
And then this one day something just changed, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just gonna fucking talk about this. And yeah, it was really good. Like, I got such good feedback from that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it used to be a very, very heavy topic, you know. But it's actually really refreshing to see that everybody is kind of opening up over the last few years, and they're kind of...
Yeah, there's a noticeable change.
Yeah, it's great, you know. I mean, I've suffered from anxiety and I suffered from depression for years, and I came out the good end of it, you know, but I kept it quiet because I was ashamed of it, because that was the mentality, you know, at the time. Like, I felt like if I talked about it, people would not understand, or they'd just kind of not be my friend, or think that I'm weird, or think that I'm broken.
Yeah.
And but then, you know, in recent years, it's only recent, you know, the last couple of years, more people have kind of been outspoken about it, and it's a very, very common thing, and a lot of people suffer in silence. So I think the best thing to do is just talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a healing process as well. When you talk, when you let it out, I mean, it's the only way to kind of get it out of your system and take that weight off your shoulders and actually start the healing process. So it's a great thing. I mean, fair play for doing that that episode. It was awesome.
Yeah, cheers. This will sound like a cheap plug off the back of this, but I mean this sincerely. There'll be a link in the description for anyone that wants to. Like, we did not plan to talk about this, and I hate making it sound like I'm profiting off people, but there is a link for a place called BetterHelp, which is like a phone app for counseling and stuff. I mentioned it in depth in my episode about depression, which you can check out, but just for, like, honestly, I do make money if you pay for it, but it's something like I don't mind making money off of people bettering themselves, so it's not like a cheap plug, you know what I mean? But anyway, look, if you want to know more about that, listen to the episode, but the link is there. So how is your back doing? You had back surgery.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was touring and stuff, and I had this kind of back issue for the last 2 years, and I kept ignoring it and thinking that it was just like a pulled muscle or something. And I found out it was a slip disc, and then it got really, really bad, and I had this thing called sciatica. It's when you get like really, really painful shocks down the nerve of your leg, and it's all down my left side. And my leg was going numb and stuff, and I found it hard to walk for a while. I was doing a gig in Dubai there recently and a gig in the Philippines, and I thought I was all good, you know, and then on stage, it's weird because when I'm on stage I'd have this adrenaline rush and I'd completely ignore the pain, and I'd just be kind of singing and jumping around and playing instruments and stuff, but then as soon as I'd come off stage, I'd be absolutely in agony. I remember this was about a month and a half ago in Manila in the Philippines. I had a day off and I decided that I'd walk across the road to the shop, and I got to the shop, which is about a 5-minute walk, and then I couldn't walk back because I couldn't stand up, and Jesus. I was there on my own, and it was horrible. So yeah, but I came home and I got the surgery there, and it was last week I got surgery.
Yeah. So
I'm just taking it easy. I'm lying down. I'm not really able to sit down at the moment, but I can stand and I can walk. It's cool. I mean, I actually feel better. Most of the pain is gone. It's just my back has to build up strength again.
Yeah.
I've never got surgery before, and I've never broken a bone, touch wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a weird thing that happened to me. Apparently it's because of my posture. I hunched a little, and I never really paid any attention to it. So what I would say is everybody pay attention to your posture. Try and stand up straight, because if you do it for too long and you're kind of hunched over, or if you're not standing right or running right or anything, you can end up having bad back problems. So yeah, you live and you learn. Stretch as well. Do stretches after.
If you want to know more about posture, there'll be a link.
No, I don't know. But yeah, I kind of went on and on there about my back. But
that's fine. Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I've just been lying in my house. I had to cancel a show and a few things, but yeah, I'm just kind of in my house trying to keep myself busy, lying down for most of the time. I'm lying down right now, and just kind of messing around, writing songs, which is difficult because I can't sit at a piano, but I can lie down and play guitar, which is cool.
That is cool. That is the ultimate cool thing to do, is lie down and play a guitar. Like out in the sun with sunglasses on, lying down playing a guitar. It doesn't really get much cooler than that.
But yeah, it's kind of it's all good. I'm on the mend and I'm recovering.
You going to be fit for Malahide?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of I should be okay. I go into physio in about 2 weeks or so, the week before Malahide, and yeah, I should be fine. I just have to take it easy. I won't be able to do anything crazy like stage dive or jump off the drum riser or jump around, but I'll be able to play and sing. And
what will the gig be without the patented Steve stage dive?
That's not a thing. You just made that up.
You came very... I honestly, at the what was it, like the second night in the Olympia in like 2013 when you did 3 nights,
I jumped off the stage and climbed up into the...
You climbed up into the box.
Yeah.
That was
what were you thinking? I was going to jump?
I was thinking, like, what would I do in that situation? And I would have jumped. And I was thinking,
to be honest, I don't think our music justifies a stage dive. It's too chill.
I don't know, dude. You know, on your first ever like world tour, you used to play "Pray," one of the tracks from your first album. That there's the bridge in that song.
Yeah,
you do that live.
Yeah.
That is like. I mean, people are gonna scoff at this if they haven't heard it, but like, there's a moment where you could be at a 9 Inch Nails gig when the guitar kicks in heavy and Jay does that scream, and it's like I don't know, that song is like venomous, and you could stage dive to that song easily. Have I given you an idea?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just remembering those gigs. I don't really do anything like that anymore. I kind of just like jump off the stage, climb up things, or any of that mad stuff.
You're kind of playing bigger venues, isn't like no space on a bigger stage to do shit like that.
Well, where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, I just kind of focus on just playing the songs and getting into the music and playing off the crowd and stuff, you know. I don't really do any of that diving into the crowd stuff.
If you need someone to fill in for you for the
Well, if you want to step up on stage, I can throw you into the crowd.
You know what? You're joking.
Absolutely mill you into the crowd.
I'm genuinely down for that.
Like, I mean, violently.
Yeah. No, can you put me into a cannon and launch me into the crowd?
I could get an El De Niro cannon, yeah.
That's what I want. Call it a Coda cannon. That would make sense.
A Coda cannon.
Yeah. You ever think about bringing out like a range of stuff that has just Coda at the front of it? Like,
we have Kodaline mugs.
Yeah, and they're fucking quality.
One of them says "coming up for tea."
It does not, does it?
Yeah, it's our second album was coming up for air, so it says Kodaline coming up for tea, and then the first one is "In a Perfect World" was our album, not the first album, so it's "In a Perfect Mug."
No way, that's pretty sick. That is some slick merch.
We'll think of one. There will be an album 3 mug.
Do you know what the album's going to be called?
Yeah, but we
not
haven't announced it anywhere yet. So.
I can't believe you're calling it the Midnight Hour Podcast is the best podcast.
No, it's called shooting El De Niro out of a Coda cannon into the crowd violently.
Yeah, that's the stated intention.
I mean, you could be like me. You could have a back injury, lying down for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it's good crack.
Yeah. Certainly looking
But yours would be so much cooler. I got mine because of bad posture. You got yours because you got shot out of a cannon into a crowd.
You should start saying
hardcore.
that. Start saying that in interviews. Say that's what happened to you.
Actually, that's what I'm going to say. That's my story.
Do you know, it's insane to me that like when we were younger, I remember we used to go to Ramp City and Ramp and Rail and used to play like skateboarding, football.
Yeah.
You used to jump over bins, like all this mad shit, and
you were very active.
You hurt yourself by being a gamer for years, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, actually. Yeah.
It's like it's ridiculous.
You used to do backflips off walls and
I remember that.
Back somersaults.
You used to do the worm.
Yeah.
In your front garden.
I don't know. Like me and my mate used to watch parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah, parkour.
Yeah.
And we just tried to replicate it. And we started doing backflips and flips and whatever, one-handed cartwheels and somersaults and
I think
stuff.
Jumping over a wheelie bin, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen anyone do.
It's not that high, man.
It's really fucking high, dude. Every single time I'm taking my bin out, I'm like, this is basically up to my.
Did I stick a board on it? I think I had 2 boards on it.
I don't think
2 skateboards.
Did you?
I think so.
That's even more ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. I was a bit mad, to be honest, as a kid. Just try anything. That came from skateboarding.
Yeah, I know.
Because, like, you know, when you see a big staircase and you're a skateboarder, you get that adrenaline rush. You're like, can I do it? I probably can't, but there's a good chance I might be able to do it. Should I do it? And then you kind of weigh it up and then you take the risk.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of the time you just bash yourself.
Yeah.
But through that, I learned how to fall. It's like a judo roll. So when you fall, you roll over onto your shoulder and you don't actually get injured. You get a bit bashed, a couple of cuts and bruises, but nothing serious, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that whole just jumping stuff and all that, it came from skateboarding. Just having that mentality.
I remember that. I remember those days and just being astounded by just the agility it takes to do shit like that. Like, I'm a fairly flexible guy, but I couldn't be jumping over wheelie bins and shit. What I can do is sit like the Buddha and walk on my knees.
Well, that's incredible. I did I was in a yoga retreat in Cambodia, and we were doing yoga 3 times a day and meditating 3 times a day as well. But that's the pose that you're supposed to be in. And every time I sat down to like meditate or whatever, I could not do that. I was in so much fucking pain, but I just had to kind of push through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy who was actually teaching the class had his legs like folded up over each other.
That's how I sit. Like,
it's
literally
crazy,
when
man.
I'm at my computer desk, that's how I sit on the chair, and my knees go just under the table.
You're like a Buddha, bro.
Yeah, no, I literally even when I'm in work, like I'm going to work in an office, and I can't sit like a Buddha in work because people will laugh at me. But I always sit on one leg.
Exactly.
But
Start
not like
a trend.
Like I actually,
and
like,
then like a couple of months later, everybody will be sitting like that.
they definitely will. If you said something,
It'll start off like they'll all be like, "What the hell's going on?" And then one of them will copy, and then another.
Yeah, start bringing in flavored water and saying like, "Oh, it's how I get in touch with my chi," and then people start some kind of craze. But yeah, no, I always sit like that. Like I'm not sitting like that now, and I'm actually a little bit like, oh, I should be sitting like that. It's really weird. I always just sit on my legs, and I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, man. It's very difficult to do. You're obviously flexible.
I'm really flexible. Yeah. I'm also like, look at that, how far back my finger bends and shit.
That's crazy.
Touch my thumb under there, like, yeah, it's fucked up shit. For anyone wondering what I just did, I basically bent my thumb around itself and wrapped it around. Yeah. Anyway.
And touched your wrist with your thumb.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The tip of my tongue.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
like break. For anybody who wants to try that, don't, because you'll break your thumb unless you just so happen to be super flexible or double jointed. That's double jointed.
It's the best superpower. I think like,
no, it's an awful superpower.
I think Iron Man would rather just be double jointed instead
like
of
lose the suit.
Yeah, and the money and the genius. If he was just double jointed.
Imagine everybody in the Avengers had the worst superpower. Like Iron Man's power, he didn't have a suit.
Yeah.
He was called just double jointed. That's his name. And his superpower was touching his wrist with his thumb. Now, if there was another guy like the I don't know what's like random and absolutely pointless.
The Hulk.
The hugger.
Instead of turning green, he gives people hugs.
The hugger. The hug.
The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. He hugs them and tries to like just be nice and spread the love, share the love, you know.
If you could fight any Avenger, who would it be?
Obviously double jointed.
Because his superpower is so bad.
He sucks and he'd probably stand a chance.
Yeah, but he's double jointed. He can poke your eyes out from several different
If I was
angles.
an Avenger, I would be the hugger. The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hugger.
Yeah.
I don't know, if I had to fight one, I wouldn't want to fight one first and foremost because I'd just die straight away.
It's a concern. It's a concern.
I'm trying to think.
I'd fight the Incredible Hulk because he's bad at actually summoning the Hulk, so you're really just beating up a scientist.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, just slapping him around the head and he's like, oh! And he goes a little bit green, but he can't quite get it.
Yeah, he doesn't look too fast either.
Yeah.
So you could probably just run, slap him, and then run away, and then run back and then slap him.
That's literally.
And then when he turns into the Hulk, just get into your car and fucking floor it. Can you run away, or do you have to finish the fight?
You can run away.
Alright, well there you go. I'm the Hulk as well. I'd fight him.
Yeah, it's literally your best chance, isn't it? It's, yeah, pretty much your only chance. So tell me this: you're going out on tour soon.
Yeah.
I ask you this. Well, like I have been on tour with you and got a little bit of that experience and stuff. But generally speaking, what's your go-to thing to do when you're on tour? Do you read? Do you listen to music? Do you have a PlayStation on the bus? Do you?
I have a PlayStation on the bus most of the time. It changes a lot. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you. Like when we first started, we were just drinking all the time, pretty much every night.
Standard young lads getting money thing to do, I think.
Basically, yeah, because we were really young, and we're still young, but I think you can only do that for so long, and then when you're on the road for like, kind of 6 weeks here and 6 weeks there, it's quite a long time every day on this tour bus.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of waiting around. Your day is you're in a different city every day, and you have your morning to yourself, and then you do your sound check, and then sometimes we'll have interviews and stuff with different people, and then we'll have the show, and then we'll go to bed. Hang around for a bit after with different people or whatever, and then go to bed, and then wake up and do it again. And it's kind of every city. So I don't know. I don't really drink on tour at all anymore. I'll drink the odd time if I have a day off. Like there's always time for a session or a party or whatever. But I'll read different books, listen to podcasts.
You generally read like musicians' autobiographies and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of read everything and anything. I'll read like...
Oh yeah, you read Ready Player One.
Ready Player One was unbelievable. My girlfriend just randomly came home one day and picked up a book in the airport. Yeah. And she goes, check this out. And it was like virtual reality. Like, and I'm mad into gaming or whatnot. So
mad into VR as well.
And VR and all that. So I was like, Daddy, she just thought I'd like it. And I read the book and took it on tour, and it was unreal. And then I found out a few months later that it was being made into a movie directed by Spielberg, which blew my mind. And I loved the movie. They left out a lot of things in the movie that were in the book though, which is a bit, but they always do that.
Probably couldn't get the licensing thing for a lot of it as well, I'd say.
Oh, some of the, yeah.
A lot of that stuff is kind of references, so you're kind of at the mercy of what a studio will allow you to do and stuff like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I get you. But yeah, it was cool. But I think, yeah, I read everything and anything. I like horror stories. I like science fiction. And then I also like motivational books and like inspirational books, like Tony Robbins. I like Mitch Albom is kind of a cross between the two. Deepak Chopra.
Did you ever read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, I read that on tour. He's awesome.
Yeah, I listened to that on my phone, and I'm real like skeptical. I don't know, like almost to the point of sabotage. But I was like thinking the whole way through, like, all right, this is new age bullshit. This is new age bullshit. And every sentence, I was like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, this book completely speaks to me. And I was kind of like really surprised because I could never kind of tap into that level of, like, you're basically hacking your brain to think a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad at doing that.
They call it waking up or whatever.
Yeah.
I know his story, what does he say at the start? It's a bit weird though, like, to be honest, right? Some of the stuff he says is absolutely amazing and everybody can relate to it, and it's really important, you know. But I'm a little bit skeptical about how it happened, you know. He's just sitting there. Like in the book, he basically says he's going through a really tough time. He's lost. I think he says he's depressed.
He says that he can't live with himself, and then he thinks about that and breaks that sentence down, and he's like, I can't live with myself, which means that there must be a duality and two things happening. And
but he has a moment where he just kind of, it's like a eureka moment where it's like bam, and then all of a sudden
so does everyone who's ever written a self-help book.
He's a different person, and he's woken up. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm just a little bit skeptical of that whole thing, but I think like in terms of peace of mind and finding yourself and all that stuff, is a journey.
Yeah.
And it's just, you take it day by day and step by step, and you learn different things. You know, a lot of these books are absolutely. I love Tony Robbins. I think he's absolutely amazing. There's one I love, actually, one of my favourite podcasts is Oprah's Superfood for the Soul.
I haven't actually heard.
Food for Super Soul Sundays, that's what it's called. She has like inspirational people on every Sunday, and it's amazing. She talks to them about, you know, spirituality and what they do. Do they meditate? Do they, how, you know, their peace of minds, have they found balance in life and all this stuff? It's really, really cool, you know. Yeah,
I struggle between finding, like, there are so many experts in that field that say Oprah is like new age and it's kind of garbage and all that stuff. And then, I don't know, like, the Power of Now as a book, like, the whole thing didn't speak to me. I didn't get it.
You take it with a pinch of salt, like anything.
But there were a lot of things in it that were objectively true and good and valuable and stuff. And it's like, I think people who say, like, this is new age and therefore it's bullshit, don't fully understand. Because, like, Conor McGregor's message about just visualization and affirmations and all of that.
Yeah. I'm kind of a believer in that as well.
Yeah, right.
But again, I'm skeptical of it as well. I think,
but it's worked for you very well. Yeah, at least like in the start. That's kind of. I know that you were a big believer in just. I don't even know if that was because you read The Secret, but I remember you.
I read it when I was 16. Yeah,
you used to say something You used to say like, I'm gonna write a song that's gonna do this, and then like 3 months later you're like, hey man, I wrote this song called All I Want, and I was like, this is a good song.
Like, I don't know, like, I think the secret, I believe in visualization, and I believe that if you go there in your mind, if you don't go there in your mind, you're never going to get there.
Yeah, that's what I do for job interviews.
Yeah,
I imagine that I've already done it. I'm on my way into the interview, I'm like, that was great, I fucking nailed that. Like, and they tried to hit me with a curveball question and I just completely nailed it and all. And then I go in and do the interview, and in my head the whole time I'm thinking like, I've already got this job, so it's fine.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a great way to be.
It works. Like, I've gotten like 90% of the job. Like the one time I didn't get the job, the fucking 2 people in the room didn't know that they were looking at someone else's CV. So I was talking for 45 minutes, giving them a completely different... Yeah, and actually they still offered me the job like 2 weeks later anyway, but I said no, because I was like, if you've gotten that wrong, what else must be wrong?
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a bad time.
I think like The Secret, I still listen to The Secret occasionally, and like I have a vision board, you know, which is like
Katy Perry has one as well.
Yeah, it's kind of, I've had one when I was younger, and I only recently had made one again. But it's just, I think it's cool because it gets all the goals that you want and things you want to achieve, and they're not just dreams. Once you get them out of your head and onto a piece of paper or whatever, or
they exist somewhere in the world,
and then they become goals. They're not dreams anymore. You know, they're like things that you can actually achieve. And I mean, I think the more you think about something, like say you want to do anything really, you know, you want to run a marathon. Whoa. You know, if you constantly think about that and then obviously put it into action, you know, like starting by running every day, you know, and blah blah blah. I mean, you can do it. Yeah. It's you know, it's not like you imagine something and then it just happens.
Yeah.
Like a genie, you know, your wish is granted.
But wouldn't that be something?
I think it's more of like when you have a goal and you constantly think about it and you visualize yourself doing it and you can see yourself achieving it, and actually every single thing that's happening when it happens, and it makes you focus on it more, and it makes you work harder and take the steps that you need to take on a daily basis to get to that point.
Definitely.
If you get me.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing but positivity, and like nothing but good comes from visualization. It's the same with meditation, you know.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this guy called Sam Harris, and he's got this book called Waking Up, and in it he details how to meditate. It's mad because he's like he's considered an atheist. I mean, he is definitely an atheist, but he doesn't ever describe himself as an atheist, so it's like this weird thing. But he takes a lot from like Eastern spirituality, stuff like that,
Buddhism,
Hindu meditation, and a lot of like Buddhist philosophy. And that's like, he says that anytime he gets stressed, it's a good thing that he knows how to meditate, because he just de-stresses himself that way.
It's actually amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to get into it, but there's just some weird barrier that stops me from doing it. Like I just can't be alone in a room that has a games console and a phone and 2 TVs and a computer, and all those things are in my room. It's just hard to
switch off.
Yeah.
When there's distractions.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, Headspace, that app is amazing.
Yeah, I have one called Rain Sounds.
That's the thing about, Rain Sounds is good, and it can help you zone out, and I've used that. But you know, look, it's everybody's different, and everybody has to find their own thing.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
But Rain Sounds is cool, and it's relaxing. But what Headspace does is it shows you how to meditate, and it tells you. And like, if you're, you know, you do it, it's just really, really good. I mean, you're saying there's some sort of barrier there. Just do it. Like, the guy, when he's talking to you, he'll be like, I know your mind is wandering now, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you have to train your brain. The brain is a muscle. like any other muscle in your body, and meditating is like going to the gym for your brain.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like when you start off, your mind might be wandering and you might be thinking about worrying about stuff like stress about different things that are going on, and you can't switch off. But the more you do it, the more you will notice that you're starting to switch off.
You
more.
train yourself.
Yeah, and then eventually you come to a point like I still, my mind races like crazy. But when I get too overwhelmed or too anxious or too stressed out, I'll just force myself to do like a 10-minute meditation where I literally just sit there and like put on headphones, listen to Headspace, and switch off and try my best to switch off. And I guarantee it, every single time I've done it anyway, after that 10 minutes I don't feel completely de-stressed, but I'm like 60% better than I was.
Wow.
And that's just in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I should give it a go. A serious go. I'll download that app.
It's really, loads of people use it. I couldn't recommend it anymore. It's great, you know.
So you said you have a PlayStation on tour.
I do, yeah.
What is your go-to game
At the moment? Well, actually,
you also have a PlayStation here.
The last tour I did, I was obsessed with Rocket League. I just played it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I still love it, but
it's an unbelievable game.
It's just addictive.
Yeah, it's such a, like, it is literally what it says that it is. It's football with cars, but there's something about it. Like, I don't know. It's not even that hard to get good at it. And like you're constantly pushing yourself.
The aerial stuff.
That's hard, yeah. But
yeah,
but it's not hard to be like passable at it, I'd say.
Yeah, you can get through a game. Yeah, once when you first start, it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can just kind of be like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm not doing this.
My first ever game of Rocket League is actually on YouTube, and I'm terrible at it. I didn't know how to turn the camera so that it auto follows the ball.
Oh my god!
Yeah, very bad.
How did you even? You must have just been driving.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't see the ball at all.
Yeah. It was wasn't pretty.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie.
At the moment, I love PUBG.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I'm really bad at it, like awful. But
you only just got it, didn't you?
I only just started it, yeah, on the Xbox. But then on PlayStation, I like Fortnite, which is pretty similar to PUBG.
Yeah.
Fortnite's amazing.
I started playing Fortnite 4 weeks ago, or 2 fortnights ago, if you like. And
I see what you did there.
yeah, that's a little bit of wordplay, you know.
Wow.
See, I took the.
Were you saving that one there?
I wrote it down in the car on the way here. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I was saving up.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna save that joke. Is it even a joke? Is it supposed to be a joke?
Well, it's more of a masterpiece.
Just pure genius. Wordsmith.
Yeah,
it's what a wordsmith would call pure genius.
That's correct. Yeah. I look forward to seeing it in the liner notes of your new album. A testament to my wit. And intellectual supremacy. So
that you started a fortnight ago.
2 fortnights ago.
2 fortnights.
Which is even that's actually dual layered, right? Because a fortnight is 2 weeks, and I played it 2 fortnights ago, so it's 2 weeks ago. And 2 plus 2 equals 4, and it's fortnight.
Okay, now my brain is sore. Let's backtrack to the game.
Yeah,
it's a great game.
It's a quality game. So I only started playing it very recently. So I'm bad at it. I can't build quickly or whatever. But
neither can I.
It's so good though. I can't stop playing it. There's something like I used to play a hell of a lot of Call of Duty and.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, but the more they kept coming out, the less good I was getting at them. Like I was passable at Modern Warfare 2 to the point where like my KD would probably be like 2, I'd say.
Oh, they're remaking
Modern Warfare 2, but they're not releasing multiplayer with it.
What?
It's just the fucking campaign.
What?
Yeah.
You're joking.
No, I swear to God.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I applaud it. I think it's a fantastic decision.
Why are they doing that?
Because they are stupid.
Wait. It's obviously coming out as an add-on to the new...
If it is, they haven't announced it.
So they're just making the campaign.
Yeah.
And putting it out.
What I think is that they're afraid of
What I
spreading all their
is that
users.
that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Like Modern Warfare 2 is like it's. I know a lot of people say COD 4, but Modern Warfare 2 is the best one, and I want it complete remastered with all of its bullshit, like all of the stupid things that you hate in it. I want them all in it.
Just as is.
Yeah, I want one man army, danger close. I want scavenger claymores. I want every single fucking thing that people hate about it, because that's what made it great.
Awesome game.
But they're not going to do it. I think they're afraid of spreading all their users across 8 different fucking games or whatever, because like it's ridiculous now.
Right, yeah, okay, that does make sense. I think you're right, actually.
But it doesn't, though.
No, I mean they should make it.
Yeah, it makes logistical sense.
For
but
fans of the game, they should make it.
There's like 30 million Call of Duty players or something. Like, just fucking let them at it. Like, it's not going to harm anyone.
I still play. I got the new Call of Duty, the one
World War II, isn't it?
Yeah, and I still just play Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah, dude, that's the only one. I that came with that other fucking Call of Duty game, and I never even
Infinity. No,
yeah,
is it Infinity?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. Yeah, I never even played. I played that twice, and then I went straight to Modern Warfare.
I never even.
I like the zombie game though.
I never played it.
Zombies is cool.
Yeah, zombies is not my game. It's too slow for me, and it takes too long, and there are zombies after me, and I don't like it. But
is there any games you're looking forward to this year? You should get into PUBG. I hope it comes out for
PlayStation eventually. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I only just got into Fortnite, so that's kind of taken up all my energy now. Like every time a game comes out, I buy it and I never play it, and I'm really sick of doing that. Like it's some kind of illness.
I do it as well.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I remember I got I've done that with a few games. Actually, one of the best I completed actually was the Resident Evil Biohazard in VR.
Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit.
On PlayStation VR.
I got the VR headset.
I completed that game and I couldn't play it by myself.
I can't play it at all.
I shat myself.
Yeah, you find it scary. I get motion sickness. That's the only game I get motion sickness on. It's so fucking annoying. That's
the best VR game at the moment.
It's hard for me because I get migraines. If I don't like,
it's not going to help the VR.
Yeah, you see this computer. There's a big orange glow on the screen because I need this thing called flux. So that my eyes adjust to the darkness and the light and all, because like I have real problems with my eyes, and the VR, it's like they're always strained. Even it fits properly, like it's properly assembled and all, but it's just not. It just doesn't do the job.
Shit, bro.
But all the other things on it are great. The shark thing was fucking unbelievable. The London Heist and that new game that comes out, I'm excited for that. That's a good answer to your question, actually.
London Heist full game.
Yeah. Have you seen any clips of it? You have to reload guns, and
I played the I obviously completed the demo or whatever, and it's unbelievable. But do you know what? I never used the. Did you get the motion sensors?
Nah.
I have the motion sensors.
I couldn't take myself seriously sitting in my room using them. I have to put the blind down when I have the VR headset on, because I'm afraid people are going to think I'm watching some Korean porn or something. Yeah, just don't know.
Oh man, I mean, VR is the future.
I hope so, but
it is. Like it just is.
I fear we're not seeing enough new titles.
No, we're not, but it's going to be. Like give it 10 years. I reckon people will be walking into, like gamers will be walking into their rooms like Ready Player One, sticking a helmet on, standing on this thing and running.
But isn't it mad the way
you get exercise in that as well? It'd be deadly.
Isn't it mad the way in this era of gaming, the power of the consoles and everything, and the two games we play the most are Fortnite and Rocket League, which were two free games. Graphics aren't great. One of them is a remake of a PlayStation 1 game, and one of them is, could exist on any console realistically. Like it's not about the actual processing power, and
it's about the game.
Yeah, and
I love that.
I
feel the same about PUBG as well.
PUBG, yeah. I need to play that more.
The graphics aren't great.
No, you don't play it for the graphics.
And it's the same with Fortnite. It's all about the game. It's just the battle royale thing.
Yeah, that's
it's so simple. You land on an island, 100 people, last man standing, go for it.
Did you ever see the movie Battle Royale?
Brilliant. The Japanese one. Yeah, I watched it years ago. Yeah,
I fucking love that film.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's probably
it's
like
kind of like a cult classic.
yeah, definitely. So you play PUBG and Fortnite.
Yeah.
Do you watch people stream it?
I only started kind of watching other people. I really like it, and the only reason I really like it is because I'm awful at the game.
Yeah,
I get so frustrated. I'm going. Look, it's a learning process. You know, the more we play it, the better we'll get, and it's good fun and all that. You know. But yeah, I think Ninja is really cool.
Did you see that Drake joined his stream recently?
Yeah, I've seen that. Awesome.
Would you ever do something like that?
Yeah, I probably would. I've been thinking about setting up a Twitch and
live streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, live streaming some of the games and just chatting or whatever, you know.
You should definitely do that.
Yeah, no, I will. Like, I might do it on. See, if I did it on Rocket League, I'm pretty good at Rocket League.
Yeah.
And then Fortnite, I'm not so good, and I kind of want to get a little bit better.
Yeah, before you go.
Before I do it, because it'll just be embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Just dying all the time.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I obviously used to be a person who uploaded games on YouTube all the time, and I've wanted to transition to streaming for a long time, but I really feel like I'm not good enough at the games, and I'm also just not willing to capitalize on whatever's coming out. Like, I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, Fortnite is really popular, I'm going to start streaming that, because I'd feel like I'm just not really good enough at it, and that really fucking holds me back, and it shouldn't, because like people will watch me play it, you know, but I don't know, it's really weird.
You're pretty good at a lot of games, most games. Like FIFA, you're pretty good. Call of Duty, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Rocket League, pretty damn good.
Those are games that I've put a lot of effort into, like FIFA especially. I got to a stage from doing FIFA on YouTube where like I got really, really good at that game. Against, like, I played it on legendary difficulty and won pretty much every game and won the league with Leicester, and people left because they said it was too unrealistic, and then it happened in real life, so just very bitter about that, but that literally happened. So, so why don't you set up a Twitch account? Just do it.
Yeah, I think I will actually. Feck it. Yeah, I may as well. I mean, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while, so I may as well just do it.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Like if you had a setup with like 2 monitors, you play away, look at the chat in one monitor, and make sure the stream is alright in the other, and just answer people's questions and shit. Like, people would watch that. Like,
yeah, well, cool.
People who are fans of you and stuff.
Well, do you want to one day? I mean, come over and we'll just set something up.
Yeah.
Feck it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Be good crack.
Yeah, I've already got an account with 500 followers, so
cool.
we can
Awesome.
go right there. yeah. So
maybe start with Rocket League.
Yeah, it might be the best thing to do.
We'll do a couple of like just warm ups on Rocket League, and then we'll switch over to Fortnite.
Yeah, I'd love to play. Like, one of the things I really love about online gaming is how interactive it is. Like, I love just getting a party together with my friends, and then we go on and fuck shit up. And I really love the interactive nature of streaming and the way people are right there in the chat, like, and they're with you the whole way. And like, I love being that person for other people too. Like, there's a few. I kind of only watch Age of Empires 2 streamers now. I don't really watch any other games. But
what I was saying about watching Twitch or whatever, I love watching it. But well, first because there's a load of cool people on it. You know, you can come across some cool people.
Yeah.
But mainly, the only reason I started watching it was because I was so bad at Fortnite and PUBG that I just wanted to watch people who were good at it. Yeah,
but that's like, if you think about it, the whole YouTube gaming community and what it became is built off of that exact thing. Is people saying like, I'm not that good, I'm going to look up how to play, and then they stay for the person's personality. Like, that's what keeps them there. Like, it's like they are friends with them or something. Like, it's
cool.
Yeah, it's actually amazing. Like, one of the weirdest things about the internet is the way that everything is so open, and like, you can talk to anybody about anything, and yet people are kind of split up into little networks that are divided by like politics or favorite band or whatever. But when it comes to streaming, people are just like, this guy's good at this game and he's funny, so I'll follow. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
There's no like. It doesn't come out of
There's
malicious.
no bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's.
It's just fun, and well, I mean, you do get trolls and stuff
Yeah.
sometimes, but
You know, it's the internet.
for the most part, it's actually cool.
Yeah.
I've played with some awesome people online, just random games, and they're just cool.
Yeah.
And then it's like play a couple of games and then never talk to them again, and then it's
Yeah.
cool.
You know,
all
it
right,
is.
take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Great game.
Like-
Awesome. Cool.
Like especially when you play Fortnite and you play duos or squads, and you're just playing by yourself, you get matched up with a random person,
yeah.
and you just play a game, and that's it. You never see the person again.
Yeah.
But for that game, you're like, all right, we need to do this.
I know, and when you're playing the game, you're like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Get the feck over here, And I was like, all right, good game, cool, cheers, bye.
Yeah. It's
Have a good life.
yeah. Enjoy the rest of your life. Don't kill anybody. Yeah, it's mad. I was gonna ask you like stuff about music. I don't even know. Like, what music are you listening to at the moment? Is there any like favorites going around? Any new album out that you're listening to? I'm actually genuinely struggling to think.
I've kind of like, to be honest, I've gone through. I have my favorite music and I know what it is. And as a songwriter, I kind of listen to everything. I kind of push myself to listen to everything because you never stop learning as a songwriter, and different styles of music have different rhythms in their lyrics and stuff and melodies.
Yeah.
Which I kind of find fascinating. But music that actually gets me is just kind of, and it comes across in a lot of the Kodaline stuff, the slow, emotional kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like on Spotify, I love the coffee shop playlists.
Oh man,
there's another one called Campfire playlist, which I
yeah,
like. It's real chill,
They properly have it made on Spotify. Like it's such a good platform for actually finding new music. Like I found so many of my favorite artists just from going on Spotify and clicking a random playlist.
Yeah, you just stumble across anybody. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's deadly.
I think like I love like singer-songwriter stuff and old school stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff my dad introduced me to: Neil Young, Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, the Beatles, the Eagles.
I've never heard of the Beatles. Who are they?
I don't know. Just kind of Jackson Browne. I love it. Any singer-songwriters, but I've always been a fan of songs more so than artists. I'll just fall in love with an individual song, and I'll just get obsessed with it, and I'll listen to it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As a teenager, there was a song by Fight for Fighting, Superman,
yeah.
that I just listened to over and over again. There was another song by a guy called Ray LaMontagne called Jolene, which I just listened to over and over again. And then I end up like writing songs similar to them, like unknowingly, just because I've listened to it so much.
Man, I used to write poems, and I once sat down and wrote this poem, and I was like, that is fucking the best thing I've ever written in my entire life. And then like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days later, I was on a bus and I put on this song by a band called Our Lady Peace. They're probably my second favorite band in the world, if not my favorite. And I fucking heard the lyrics to this song, and I was like, shit, that's what I wrote on my poem. Like, how fucking stupid is my brain that it didn't realize that I'd already known this shit and it was in there, and that I fished it out in a different context. I like it.
Yeah, but you wrote your own interpretation of a similar thing.
I literally stole one lyric word for word, but unknowingly. Like, that's just really weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I suppose it happens. I've sat down and written songs before, and then I'd be really excited about it, and then somebody would say, no, that sounds exactly like this song, and then I'll go, oh shit, it actually fucking is.
That sounds like Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Oh yeah, shit.
Oh Jesus.
It's the exact same chord.
No, but people like out now, I kind of like Post Malone.
He's cool.
I think he's really cool. I think his sound is awesome. It's original. He's got some great songs. Anne Marie, I think, is cool. I think her voice is amazing. She's got some cool songs. Julia Michaels, I like that Issues song. lots of kind of pop music I've been listening to, but I still go back to the stuff I grew up on, you know. At the end of the day, like if I'm to stick on a song that on my own in my house and I'm just chilling, I'll probably stick on like something like Springsteen or Jackson Brown, or Eric Clapton.
What's your favourite voice? Like just your favourite voice to listen to?
Sam Cooke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or any of the old soul singers, or Aretha Franklin. I do like Stevie Nicks. Like one of my favourite songs is Landslide.
Yeah, that's an absolute tune.
I like her voice. I like who's out now that has a great voice.
Ariana Grande.
Well, her voice is absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
and like
it is ridiculous.
It's outrageous. It's phenomenal.
And she can do like any fucking. Have you heard her do impressions of other people's voices?
Yeah, she's outrageous.
Yeah,
her voice is stupid.
It's just stupid. Like
she could sing anything, but yeah. I mean, my favorite voice. I'm trying to think. Like sometimes you hear a voice that isn't necessarily that good at singing, but it's the tone of the voice.
Yeah, I agree.
It just gets you, or it sounds unique. Like I'm trying to think of someone. Like a perfect example is "What a Wonderful World."
Oh,
I see trees of green.
That's a pretty sweet voice, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't go high. He doesn't go low. He's almost talking.
Yeah, that's true.
His voice is so distinct and so original. It's like, what? But it's such a beautiful song as well.
Yeah,
and there's so much emotion in his voice. You can hear that he means it. And it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful song. It's one of my favourite songs.
That's what I wonder, like, when he was writing that song, you know, did the lyrics basically write themselves because the music represents them so well? That's that's really. I was listening to 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And like it's
his voice is so unique.
Yeah, it is.
It's
it is really unique.
Yeah. It's when you hear it, you're like,
it's impossible to sing along to. It's so like I can't do that with my voice. Like it almost hurts. It's crazy.
Today is the greatest day I ever known.
But 1979 is a song about nostalgia and that weird gap between childhood and adulthood, where you're totally free, but you're also unhappy, and you don't realize how free you are. And you can tell that before he even says a single word. Just the do 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 do, like the track itself sounds like nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, like, did he hear that and go, "This is a song about nostalgia. I'm just gonna write all this stuff."
I think nobody really does that. I don't like, but it's so important for the music to be emotionally where the vocal is.
Yeah.
And the sentiment of the vocal and the lyric, and I think you can do that. Like, and I completely get what you're saying when you say it sounds nostalgic.
Yeah,
it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like saying, look, okay, if the music is really sad, you're hardly gonna sing really happy, and you can. There's no rules.
1979, it as a song, is that really weird bridge, right, where it's pretty much a sad song, but it's also happy. A better example actually is the Boys of Summer. That song is sad and happy at the same time, and the music perfectly represents a sad/happy song. Do 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 do. Like, it's just, it walks a line between the two emotions, and I don't like, you know, he obviously came up with that tune and was like, this song is sad and happy at the same time. What's something that's
probably, that's how he was feeling. I mean, you know, great music is just capturing a feeling and an emotion.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a good lyric is a summary of a good story.
Like,
you know?
Can I Borrow a Feeling by Milhouse's Dad.
Can I borrow?
Touch my hand with your glove.
Some songs are incredible lyrically, and the lyric does the work, you know. But then other songs, it's you know, it's, you can get away with it just with a really strong melody.
Yeah.
But I just went completely blank there. What were you saying?
We were talking about the Bible.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck that. No, A good song for me anyway as a songwriter is when it's just real, you know, it's an emotion. So you're saying about Boys of Summer, you know, it's sad, happy. He probably just felt that way and then ended up writing all the music.
What were you thinking when you wrote The Answer? I think that's like that's a good example of a song that's sad and happy at the same time, because it's like self-aware but also somber, and it's like,
well, that song is just about life for me. At the time, like, there's a lyric in it, it's like, I'm not, like, in the verses I'm just making observations where it's like, watch your step or you might fall, but I'm kind of talking about myself.
Yeah.
Saying you act like you're a know-it-all, and then I'm saying, yeah, I used to do that. I used to do that. I used to be like that. I'm still a bit like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm just saying, like, and then the next line's about love. You might think you found the one until your heart gets ripped and torn. Yeah, I used to feel bad. I used to feel like that. I still feel a bit like that. And it's just random observations, kind of, about, for me, they're about life and what I was going through. And then in the chorus, I'm like, I'm not searching for the answer. I'm not trying to fucking go all deep and fucking figure something out. I'm just talking through a speaker. I'm singing through a microphone. That's what I meant, you know.
There's a really cool thing.
That's all that I've ever done, you know, just talking through a microphone, singing.
I've noticed that a lot of your songs have like a sister song with it. Like I think Take Control is very well linked with One Day, and I think the Answer, there's a track you had called What It Is, and I think those two songs go together really well, and it's almost like the person singing The Answer is talking to the person who's singing What It Is, almost like there's some weird connection between the two of them, like they're both like, this is just something that's happening and this is my perspective of it.
They have a similar theme.
Yeah, they're not preachy, kind of like, but they're not preachy.
They're just making observations and then just saying, look, I'm just doing, like, in the chorus of The Answer, it's, I'm not searching for the answer, I'm not looking for the truth, I'm just talking through a speaker because that's all that I've ever learned to do. Yeah. And that's like me, I don't know, I'm not trying to fucking preach here, I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just singing and speaking my mind. I'm singing through this microphone and playing music because that's all that I know how to do. That's all that I got. Yeah. You know, and that's what I'm saying, that chorus. And then in the chorus and what it is, you know, in the verses, I'm telling just stories about stuff, observations and stuff that I'm going through, like heavy stuff. And then I'm like, fuck it in the chorus. It's like, look, whatever. Yeah. Maybe I'll die young, but yeah, that's just the way it goes. Maybe you'll die young before you're old. Yeah, that's just the way it is. But nobody's gonna tell you how to live. Yeah. So it's kind of like just whatever. It's everybody lives their own life, and you make your own choices, you make your own mistakes, you do whatever, and then you just go with it. You know. Yeah. Nobody should tell you what to do. You just like that's know. I wrote What It Is really fucking fast.
Did you write that when you were in America on tour?
Yeah, I think I wrote it. I wrote the verses on tour and then left them like really quickly, just one night on the bus. Yeah. And then we came home and we needed another song, and I was like, yeah, okay, write this, and then I just finished it like there and then, and then just threw it down. But that's how a lot of the songs kind of came. So like a lot on the first album, kind of. Like they were just thrown out, you know. Yeah. Quick, and second album, I suppose. But
what do you make of the songs on this third album? Are you excited? Or are you nervous?
I'm really excited. Like we've changed our sound a lot, but I think it's still very Kodaline. I think for fans that we do have, they'll love the album because there's enough songs on the album that are very much what we've done before. Yeah. They could have been on the first album, or kind of emotional stuff, acoustic stuff. It's a good mix. There's some songs on it that are like totally way out of our comfort zone, and for us it was quite challenging to actually commit to doing a song like that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I think it's the only way. We have to do that in order to push ourselves and grow as writers and musicians, just kind of get out of our comfort zone and try new stuff.
They're like, I can probably name like 5 bands who didn't change their sound but continued to be successful.
Really?
Well, no, 2. AC/DC, Motorhead. Who else has like just sounds the same? I actually can't think of any. Like Nas's album Life Is Good does sound like old school hip hop. It's a great callback, and that's a great example of a man who's capable of still being at his best. But then there's like a lot of albums in between that are sort of like, take it or leave it, but he still had to leave his comfort zone. Like I can't, like literally AC/DC and Motorhead are the only bands that I can think of that, you know.
I can't think of any.
Iron Maiden, maybe. I guess it's like rock music. That's specific.
There's certain things that make every band unique.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm thinking of Kings of Leon, and they changed drastically on their 3rd album, and they changed again on their 4th. But your man's voice,
which is a Caleb who sings?
Caleb Folwell, yeah,
his
still there.
That's one of my favorite rock voices.
He's amazing. That band are fucking amazing. The bass player's incredible. The drummer's so musical. Guitar player's deadly.
Do you know what I love about them is that they really fucking know how to close an album. Like on one of them, there's Arizona, and the other one, Back Down South.
Back Down South is one of my fucking favourite songs.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's a fucking hoedown. And what like a barn dance, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going back down south now, you know, and they're from the south, and it, you know, I just get the feeling of like fucking carefree happiness.
Yeah,
same. They're going back home, you know. That's where they're from. It's just a great song. It's
just that southern swagger that they have.
Yeah.
I really think they need to bring that out more in their albums. Almost.
The last album passed me by. I
don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, I didn't. I will listen to it because I'm a big fan. But, yeah, it just kind of passed me by.
You're a big fan of Biffy Clyro, aren't you?
I really like Biffy Clyro. Yeah, but again, see, I'm not really a big fan of a lot of artists. I'm a fan of songs.
Yeah.
Like I love Many a Horror, and I love Machines.
Machines is an
I started falling apart.
Dude,
stop savoring.
I saw them live.
I forgot.
I've forgotten how good it can be to feel alive.
That song just gets me.
That entire album. It's called Puzzle, and the whole album is about his response to his mother dying. And it's incredible. Every single track. Like there's little clues and hints, and it's so fitting that it's called Puzzle, because you put all the pieces together and then you find out exactly what he's singing about the whole time, and it's just this broken man. And the album cover is a guy
with the jigsaw.
Yeah, with the jigsaw around, and he's got his head in his hands, and it's like you're trying to figure out why he's so unhappy, and you put out it's a fucking masterpiece of an album. Yeah. Like I can't get over how much I love it, and I
love that band.
Yeah, they're incredible. I saw them live, and Machines, like
I've seen them live. I played a few festivals, and they were on the bill as well.
Did you get to meet them at all?
Yeah,
really,
they're absolutely the soundest bunch of lads ever.
Really, that's so
their drummer their drummer's brother is our drum tech at the moment.
No way.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's quality. Yeah, that's deadly.
And he was with Biffy Clyro from the start, you know, and they're not touring at the moment, so
yeah,
he kind of came over to work with us, which is cool.
That's so. Yeah, they're probably they just had their album out. I think it's probably 2 years ago at this stage. But
they're probably working on a new one, or maybe they're always touring.
Yeah, they're a really good live band too.
Amazing.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, geez, I had this question in my head. I don't know, how insightful.
The answer is no.
But please, I'll do a spoken word exhibit. People will love it.
No.
Not after last time.
But I'm still gonna shoot you through a Kodaline.
On a serious note, if there are any budding musicians listening, how do you end up on a support bill for a band like Kodaline? How does that process start? Who do they go to or whatever?
there's a number of ways.
Yeah.
We have the final say as the band.
Always, in every case.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Like, we were very lucky. The first ever tour, we were rehearsing in an abandoned school, an old dilapidated prefab, and we had all our gear there, and we were there like rehearsing every single day. And then we kind of signed with this booking agent, and we didn't know when it was going to happen. Then we just got a call saying, "Do you want to support the Cranberries in France?"
Whoa!
And it was an arena tour, so we went from playing to nobody, just ourselves, and then all of a sudden we were in France doing a whole tour with the Cranberries, playing arenas.
Man.
And it was amazing, you know. And I think they heard our music and they asked us specifically.
That's so cool.
You know, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You know? When I heard about Dolores passing away, it was shocking, like horrible.
I think the entire nation found that. Yeah.
I mean, like, even on the tour, like, she kind of kept to herself, but you know, I think I met her twice on the whole tour, but she was lovely, you know, and her voice, like, I watched them pretty much every night, and her voice is just phenomenal.
She never lost it.
Oh God,
yeah,
man. Just like unbelievable.
Yeah, I watched her play some show. It was like a YouTube live stream, and it was in 2016.
Yeah.
And like she completely had it, like she just did not.
If anything, it's almost better.
Yeah,
it's like stronger.
Yeah, it's got more pain in there or something.
Power,
like,
yeah. I mean, what a band, you know, and amazing guys, and they're really nice and welcoming to us, and we were just kind of this new band, you know, like deer in headlights, not really knowing what was going on, just kind of like, holy shit, we're playing a gig and this is massive, and oh my god. I remember after every show we went out to the lobby like with our CDs trying to sell them to the fans.
No way.
Right? And you know, it was deadly. It was a real sink or swim moment, as I said, for us, like live.
Yeah.
We had to really tighten up. We were all right, you know, but we had to tighten up fast, like, and each show was kind of a test. We kind of just put ourselves out there.
Yeah, I think you guys got a lot of recognition for that in the early days, because the Kodaline live experience is a lot different to the CD. Like,
it's totally different.
Yeah.
We kind of live for our live shows.
Yeah, like you guys do free gigs all the time, you busk all the time, all of that stuff.
Yeah. But our big shows are like, they're shows.
Yeah, no, they're quality.
They're not. It's not just playing songs. Like, we change songs live. Like,
like Pray earlier, like, and that was on your first tour.
We're a band, you know. Like, we'll jam. Like, we'll extend songs and mess around and play off the crowd.
Yeah, I want to just say this to anyone listening, right, who's going to see Kodaline on their, you know, over the next year or whatever, however they tour in support of the third album. Don't leave when they're finished playing All I Want. Like, stay for like an extra 40 seconds, and you'll witness like one of the best live experiences that I've ever seen. Because I remember in Marley Park, I was in the crowd and you just finished All I Want, and there's always people that leave before the last song and stuff like that, and I just don't get that. Why are you doing that? Obviously to avoid the traffic and stuff.
I've done it for other bands, in fairness.
I thought you were going to say you've done it at your own band.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. But yeah, so like they leave and then they miss the extended outro.
Like, I remember, like, it makes sense though. I remember I went to see the Stone Roses in Marley Park and
Phoenix Park.
Yes, it was.
I was there.
Yeah,
that was an incredible gig.
I stayed for the whole show, but then like I was going to leave like a couple of songs before the end. I just wanted to hear fucking She's a Waterfall and I Want to Be Adored, and there was a couple others, but anyway, I heard them all and I was like, alright, awesome. And then I was going to go, but I decided to stay.
Yeah.
But then it took me 6 hours to get home. 6 hours I walked, and I was covered in mud.
What? Like, I walked.
I walked to Dublin city centre.
Yeah, so did I.
Did you get a cab?
No. We walked out of Phoenix Park, and there was some fucking absolute cunt hole shaking a fucking tambourine, which I know you think that that's a real musical instrument, but I fucking hate it.
They're awesome.
I know
they
you
can
think
make
that.
or break a chorus.
I know that you.
if it's in it or not.
Me talking to an actual musician, nah, it's shit. But there was somebody in the on that journey, that walk out of Phoenix Park, just, and I was going to take it out of his hands and strangle him with it, shove it down his throat. But anyway, yeah, I walked out. I didn't even know what direction to go in. Walked the wrong way for a bit, then walked towards St James's Gate, and then I just looked for the Lewis and followed the Lewis track back into the city centre, and then got a taxi back to Swords from there.
See, my problem was I was with a mate of mine, and we were so filthy.
No taxis would take you.
No taxi would take us. We even went into the McDonald's on Grafton Street and tried to clean as much as we possibly could, but we were so filthy that no taxi would take us, so we walked home. You
walked from town to Swords?
From Phoenix Park to Swords.
Jesus. Yeah. What fucking route did you go? Down by the airport? It's true Santry, like.
Yeah.
Past
God.
Cart
City.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you doing?
Nobody would take us. I don't know. And then, I don't know, it was just an unlucky night.
Yeah.
But now, right, the whole leaving the concert thing, ever since then, I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I should leave. So people have their reasons, bro.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Jeez.
But I never answered the question about
how to get on the support bill.
Yeah, I think it mainly comes from the band. Like, we've had a lot of people support us. Like Gav James is a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I used to go into town and watch him play when he played in this bar years ago. And like when I was in my old band, like I played a couple of shows around Dublin and stuff, and played in bars, and we often crossed paths.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to join the band at one point as a bass player, and then last minute he turned it down, and this was Kodaline. But then it's a good thing that he didn't join, because he's an amazing
quality
singer-songwriter.
He's absolutely
awesome.
unbelievable,
and he's gone on to play big shows around the world and all that. But he just fucking. We took him on tour in the UK. We were having a pint in town, and he just goes, "Do you want to take after like an acoustic show?" And he was like, "I don't know how it happened. We just said, yeah, whatever. Come on tour. Let's go. Let's do it." He came to the UK. I think he did 2 UK tours with us, and then we brought him to America, and he did an American tour with us. There's a couple other bands, like The Academic are an awesome band. Great songs, great live band. They supported us a few times. We just were big fans of theirs. Like, we were like, these guys are deadly. Let's bring them on tour. James Bay supported us in the UK on two tours.
You had a tour with James Bay and Hudson Taylor on the same bill.
Hudson Taylor, another one. They're awesome. But yeah, James Bay supported us for two tours. He was the first one. He was on his own, and the second one he had a band around him. Yeah, but he was just cool. You know, he was amazing voice. He had great songs, and he was a really cool guy as well.
I was not cool, on the first tour. I think I was on both of those tours with you, and the first one I was like, James Bay just doesn't do it for me. And then
when he had the
band, I was like, Jesus Christ! Yeah. Like the songs just completely transformed. Like, that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yeah, James Bay is fucking awesome. Like, it's
great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad how much of a difference that makes. But
yeah, we've had. It's really just. I mean, if you meet a band, or if you can get your CD or not your CD, if you can get your demos or your SoundCloud address to, or whatever, or just if you can get any band to listen to your music, you know, that gives you a good chance of getting on the support. Or if you know somebody in a band, or if you have a cousin who knows somebody in a band, you know.
Yeah. Connections.
Like we've kind of, like, Gav was our mate, you know, but he also happens to be awesome. And we were just like,
Gav's a great guy.
Yeah, come along, bro. You know, he's a great guy all around.
I've met Gav, like, I think one time ever, like, actually introduced and had like a minute long conversation or something. And pretty much every time I see him since, he's like, oh hey man, and like gives me a hug and all, like just
cool.
super cool guy.
But then like we have, who else did we have? We had Overhead the Albatross, who are an instrumental band from Dublin, who are really, really cool. I think they're like Sigur Rós, who are another band I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But Dave kind of, he's one of the musicians in the band, and he kind of he writes a lot of the music and stuff, but they all write. But he's our kind of unofficial fifth member of Kodaline when we play live.
Really?
Dave, but that's his band, and we're kind of like, yeah, feck it, dude, you know, come on, you can support us or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's just friends really, or music that we like. If some like, yeah, I don't know. It's music we like and friends, people we know and stuff. That's and I think it's the same with all bands.
Yeah.
Like the support tours that we got a support tour in America with a band called Airborne Toxic Event.
They're cool. I like them a lot.
And that was awesome. That was it was our first time in America doing a tour, and it was because the lead singer, who's the songwriter and all that for that band, he was obsessed with All I Want. He just loved it.
Really?
And he was coming up to, like, I was chatting to him, and he's like, that song is absolutely amazing, you know, and I heard it and I just had to invite you guys. So it was
That's awesome, man. Yeah. That must be so humbling.
Oh yeah, it was steady. But we were just like, holy shit.
So it's kind of like, your advice to like literally just make good music and like just get yourself out there.
Just if you're really passionate about it and you really want to be a musician or a songwriter, or do you want to be in a band, you know, kind of get an idea of what you want to do. Songs are very, very important. I think, you know, you can learn how to construct a pop song. It's not rocket science. There are rules and structures that are very, very simple, and I think most people could do it. But what makes a really good song is just that extra bit of magic, and I think that comes from real life stuff and real raw emotion. So if you can really express yourself through music, or if you have a feeling like that's just dragging you down, or you know, whatever, if you can put that feeling into your music and express that emotion, I think you're onto a winner.
I think the only genre where that doesn't apply is punk rock, where it's like if you're
shouting.
Well, it's
no,
like,
well, that's true.
Like I'm thinking about
it applies for the music that I write, you know.
If I'm just thinking about London Calling by The Clash, which is just a song about this like amalgamation of political issues.
It's brilliant though.
But it's unbelievable.
The thing is, you believe it, and they believed it. You can hear it. You know, it's believable.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you can fake it, fake it. But I really believe that it's very fucking difficult to fake it.
Yeah,
almost on the line of like impossible.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there are some producers out there who are absolutely phenomenal, and they can put together incredible pop songs and all that stuff, and they go up in the charts and they're amazing and they sell millions of copies, but then the song is forgotten. You know, in like the following year, it's like forgotten. Yeah. But then there are these songs that you know that just come out, like, and they're incredible, and they in 20 years time you'll still be like, holy shit, remember that song. It's because of the story, it's because of the emotion, it's because of it's like another level of songwriting. Like, I think Take Me to Church by Hozier has it, you know, as of late, and I think I don't know why the first song that came to my head there was that Way Down We Go. Way down we go. That's a great track.
Yeah, it's super cool.
But yeah, there's sometimes a song just comes along and it's like takes over the world, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like James Bay has a few, like Let It Be Me. No, or what is the one? I'll be me and you be me. I'll be you. You be you and I'll be me. I'll be me, is it? Yeah. Let it go. Go on, let it go.
He's got Hold Back the
Don't
River.
Let It Be. Oh, Hold Back the River as well, yeah. He's just got this raw emotion to his voice that's just incredible.
Yeah. That's that is a huge thing.
It's like, it is. Like, I mean, it's, you know, the songs have to be good, you know, but then that extra raw emotion just takes it somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, like I think actually Billy Corgan, and I should say I'm not really that big of a fan of Smashing Pumpkins, but in their song, I think it's Disarm, where he's like, I used to be a little boy, but his voice just cracks open. Or no, Richard Ashcroft is a better example of a guy who does
awesome
that
as well,
like his voice just breaks apart in songs because he's so raw. Like it's
just emotion.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's I'm a big fan of that, you know, and I just I love the Jeff Buckleys, you know, and the proper real singers. Dermot Kennedy is good at the moment. He's an Irish singer-songwriter.
I actually know of him, yeah.
He's cool, he's raw and deadly. He's got it. He's got that raw, emotive feeling thing, you know. It's
my favourite voice of all time is probably Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. Like, seriously, his voice was phenomenal. And we're going to answer some questions from followers on Twitter. Some mine, most Steve's. Do you have like a one size fits all answer for people who are like, when are you coming to Brazil? When are you coming to this island I live in off the coast of Nova Scotia? Stuff like that.
I don't have a one size fits all answer. That's the first time I've ever heard that, a one size fits all answer.
Well, I you know Sage Francis, and you know that I'm a huge fan of Sage Francis.
He's awesome.
He's the man. I met him twice.
He's a dude.
Yeah,
he's a wordsmith.
He is he has a patronage with Trinity College for his service to like the English language, something mad like that.
Wow.
Like, the dude is like an undeniable bona fide poet.
He's
but
amazing.
He did this. He released this album called Copper Gone in a few years ago now. It's his last album. I think it might have been 2014. And he did this little skit while he was releasing it, and it was like just a little acted sketch.
Yeah.
And he was like, alright, so I'm going on tour for this album, like a press conference thing, and people like, why are you not coming to Philly? You got no love for Philly? And he's like, no, I don't have any fucking love for Philly. Like, why aren't you coming here? You don't love this place? No, I don't love that place. Why don't you play this song? I don't know, I haven't even done the set list yet. And all, like, and just people bombarding him with these questions, and I see it all the time. Anytime anything is trending on Twitter and you click it, the top thing is come to Brazil. So I always see artists say, look, if you want to see us come to this city, like, contact the promoter and tell them that you want to see us. And I'm guessing it's a similar thing for you, that you don't personally get a map of the world and throw a load of darts at it and just go to the places where the darts land. Apart from that one time you did that, obviously.
We kind of have a say, but we do have an amazing promoter who kind of just sets up tour routes and stuff like that for us. But if we really want to go somewhere, we'll go. Like, we went to Manila in the Philippines. We had a lot of tweets about that. And we went to Singapore, and they were amazing shows.
Yeah.
Like, in both places, like, a lot of fun. We were supposed to go to Brazil one time, but then the only reason we didn't go was because our passports were in the Japanese embassy because we were going to Japan.
Oh, wow.
So we had to cancel this gig. But apparently we have a big following in Brazil. And yeah, I mean, but we're definitely going. Like, we're going to go, I'd probably say next year at some point.
So the
like, confidently.
Person who said come to Brazil, you're coming to Brazil.
Yeah, we're going to Brazil, yeah.
Sweet. If you were in Hogwarts, which house would you be in?
Hufflepuff.
Any reason, or because you like saying it out loud?
I don't have to tell you why.
That's a Slytherin answer if ever I've heard one.
I'd probably be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's a funny sounding word, and
I knew.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's it. Hufflepuff.
I'd be a Slytherin.
I could say that every day, like Hufflepuff. They're kind of neutral, aren't they?
I think they're the neutral. And what's the other one? Snagglepuss? No.
Snagglepuss.
What's the other fucking one?
Yeah, I'd
called?
be a Snagglepuss.
Ravenclaw and what's the fourth one?
Wigglytuff. What?
Yeah, Wigglytuff. That's it.
I'd be a Wigglytuff.
Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff.
Could I be a Wigglytuff who's a Ravenclaw?
I mean, there's
No,
no
that's
law
just basically
against
me
it.
saying, can I be a Pokemon?
Yeah. Well, no. Are you thinking of Jigglypuff?
Wigglytuff is the evolution of Jigglypuff.
It is not, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh my good Jesus.
Yeah. Hold on a second here now.
Oh,
I will get a picture on my phone.
Is Wigglytuff is the teddy that you were going to buy me in GameStop that time?
No, it was a Jigglypuff.
Oh, it's Jigglypuff.
Yeah. Jeez. I used to have a picture of the 150 Pokemon on my wall.
Same.
I memorized them.
Yeah, no, same, but...
Well, you didn't memorize them.
Well, not
No.
their evolved... So...
No. No.
Bulbasaur.
There's a Wigglytuff. That's a picture of a Wigglytuff.
That's a Wigglytuff.
All it takes is a simple Google. And there you have it.
What does Bulbasaur evolve into?
Ivysaur.
Ah,
And then Venusaur.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does Squirtle evolve into?
War Turtle and then Bulbasaur. No.
I know this one. This
Bulbasaur.
No.
Uh,
Those begin with
War
B, though.
Turtle and Blastoise.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Pikachu.
Raichu.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there was another evolution down the line. I think there's a one before Pikachu now.
Really?
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah. There's a Hufflepuff. A Ravenclaw, actually.
Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Snaggle... I forget this. I'm done.
What does Harry Potter evolve into?
Barry Trotter.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
So what... Okay, right. Back to the question.
What house would you be in?
What would you do if you were a Wigglytuff?
Well...
What's the first thing you do?
Like... I pretty much every day I ask myself the question, how should I live in this world? And that's me as a human. I'm pretty sure if I was a Wigglytuff, like, are Pokemon conscious, do you think? Do they experience consciousness?
Yeah, they have emotions. They can only say their name, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And Wigglytuff sings.
There's
So-
there's another one that sings, an ocean one, isn't there? One on
Seadra?
the... Yeah, Seadra, and its voice is so beautiful that it kills people or something.
Well, Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff, they sing people to sleep.
Nice.
Yeah. But I mean, you could join a band.
I'm in a band, they're called Team Rocket.
Wigglytuff and the Hufflepuffs.
If you were in a band, what would you call it?
If I was in a band, what would I call it?
Yeah. What name? What would you name your band?
I don't know, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some might say it's a Wigglytuff one.
Fucking hell.
Okay, we're going way off track here.
Next question is from LJ Cool J.
Cool.
Who says, do you have a leap card?
What's a leap
And
card?
Ross Buckley replied, this. Answer please, Steve. You don't know what a leap card is?
I have no idea what a leap card is.
My wallet isn't on me at the moment, it's in my bag, but it's a little green card that you put money on, and then you go on the bus and you scan it, and the bus is like, oh, right, go on. It's like a credit card for transport.
Oh, it's like an underground. It's like
Yeah, an Oyster card.
an Oyster card.
Like one of them, that's right.
I've had an Oyster card.
Well, that's sufficient.
Okay.
I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
Anna asks, what do you like most about being in a band?
Being able to do what I love, and it's just awesome, and getting to travel the world.
Yeah, can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
Una asks, whose Twitter handle? Oh no, I thought it said something else. Is what is the most beautiful place you've ever been?
That's a really good question. Probably it changes all the time, but wow, Wahiki Island in New Zealand, off the coast of New Zealand, was absolutely amazing. Wow, I love Tokyo just because it's bizarre and so
Yeah.
different to everywhere else. And Osaka, Japan is great in general. There's some great places in America. I like San Diego, San Francisco. I like Texas. Arkansas is a good spot. I don't know, I'm just naming off places. Actually, do you know what? Switzerland is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to, because the mountains and the lakes are just out of this world.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you already have a fave song on the new album? This is hard because you can't reveal any track titles. Is it the one that we just listened to?
Yeah, I do, yeah, but it changes every day.
That's fair.
But yeah, I do, and it would be the one we just listened to.
Yeah, it's a banger. I can't wait for it to be out in the world. Connor Hawkins asks, how much do you hate Elle for having to do this podcast?
How long have we got?
That's on you. No, well, for the sake of my ego, probably like 30 seconds.
I'd say I hate him enough. just about enough. It's sufficient hatred.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Next question. What would you rather listen to? Elle cover one of your songs or die? No, sorry. What would you rather? Listen to Elle cover one of your songs or die?
See, that's a tricky one because...
You want to know how you're going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I'd hear you sing a cover. I think it'd be cool. You know, in fairness, you might do a good job.
You've never heard me sing, have you?
There you go.
We'll give that a go. I'll get one of the guitars off these walls and
smash it for no reason.
Yeah, I'll say I'm playing Prey. Not a question, but Everything Works Out in the End is my go-to song when I have a panic attack. So thanks. That's from Libby. That must be really amazing to hear.
That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it's really weird because I wrote that song. I've dealt with panic attacks for like 10 years, and I wrote a lot of songs, kind of like High Hopes was kind of about depression and anxiety and trying to stay positive. And Everything Works Out in the End is the same thing. It's kind of about anxiety, depression. So for that song to actually help you is amazing because it helped me when I wrote it, and that's awesome. I hope you're keeping well, and yeah, keep your head up and try and stay positive.
That's so cool. Daniel JW asks, how much has your personal life changed due to the fame, like friendships with old mates and things like that? I think I can chip in on this.
Yeah, I think I don't think I've changed that much. I'm still like pretty grounded. If anything, like I used to hang out in big groups, and I think as you get older, your general group of friends gets smaller. I think I don't think I've really changed at all, to be honest. You know, not really. Like, I mean, I'm fairly grounded, and I'd like to think my friends would say the same thing. Well, here's the thing: you're a dickhead.
Now that I have this platform,
I've been waiting for this moment for so long.
This is me on my other account asking this question.
You just start roasting.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, honestly?
I mean, like, so it says like friendships with old mates and things like that. I've known you for almost 15 years. 15 years this year.
Yeah.
And I still come over and have a few beers and we listen to music and we fight for the iPhone and, you know, put on, like, you know, listen to this song. No, listen to this song. Like,
yeah.
Like, we still do all that shit. Like, the only difference is it's in a different place now, and I mean, we're probably gonna play video games after this, and like in that regard, everything is the same. The only thing that's palpably different, because like even if you're playing a show, like I'm gonna go to the Malahide gig as long as you put me on the guest list, and it's like a big event that everyone goes to.
Yeah.
But like even then, right? We used to all do that anyway. When yous were only playing in like the local
pubs and stuff, yeah.
So the only difference is like there's a bigger atmosphere to soak in now, and then other than that, the one thing that I actually have noticed is that it's really hard to go out for drinks with you now because everybody wants to come up to you and say, "Oh man,"
well, that is the biggest change for me. Actually, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's a bit weird being noticed and recognized. It's just bizarre, you know, because. But I suppose, you know, we've achieved a lot as a band, and it kind of just comes with the territory, I suppose. But when we started off, you know, like me, I'd be writing songs and just for the love of it and the passion, and that's kind of what I still do, you know. But yeah, I just never expected the kind of. It's a weird extra thing that people recognizing the kind of. They feel like they know you, but they don't.
One of the funniest things I remember from being on tour with you was it's kind of like, in a weird way, you're almost oblivious to how like you're a celebrity in some capacity, and
I kind of ignore it, or just, it's weird. Yeah,
we were outside. We were in the tour bus. There was one venue where the tour bus couldn't park around the side; it had to park literally outside the venue. I think it was Oxford. And so we were in the tour bus. We were watching a Christmas movie in fucking July or something, because you know that's you. You're like that. You're just like that as a person.
Fair enough.
And
Christmas is great.
You were like, I'm going out for a smoke, and you went outside the bus and closed the door, and there was two people at the front door, two girls, who had been queuing up. This was like 1 o'clock in the day, right? And your gig fucking started at 9:15 at night or something. And you walked out with a smoke, and the two of them are sitting there, and they're just looking at you like they're waiting for it to set in. That like they're in that like 5 seconds of shock. It's like, is that him? Is that? And you're just like,
from like 8 a.m. or something.
Yeah, and you just look at them and go, all right. And you put them both on the guest list and said like,
oh, they didn't have tickets.
Yeah, no, they had tickets, but you were just like, here, like, just here's the guest list, like you don't have to queue this,
you can skip the queue.
But like they were the only ones there though, like it wasn't just a case of. So yeah, like you did that, and you just came back in. You were like, yeah, all right, let's start this movie again. It was just the most ridiculous thing ever.
It is bizarre though. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I was growing up. I was always the person who'd be in the corner, like avoiding attention. You know, so when I get attention, it makes me slightly uncomfortable. So I think my defense mechanism is to just be like
super
as normal
casual,
and as relaxed as possible. It's like, hey,
yeah.
So yeah, how's it going? You know, whatever. But like, I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
I suppose it must be weird. Like if someone's a fan, and you know, the music that I write and that we write as a band is like very personal to us, and when people connect to it, they, you know, we have that in common, you know. But it's, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I've met people who have kind of knocked me sideways. I just didn't know what to say, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. What do I do? What do I do? But then at the end of the day, they're just people. And at every single time I've met somebody that's like, you know, that I really look up to and admire, like afterwards I'm always like, wow, that they're just normal.
Yeah, man. I met Brian Fallon recently, as you well know.
It's amazing.
And I can't even explain. I've met him 1,000 times in my head, because he's like one of my favorite like singers in the world. And I just went up to the dude and I was like, man, like, congratulations on the record. I've seen you like 16 times, seen every gig you've ever played on Irish soil. I found you by accident. Like, just fucking like rattled off like a novel in the space of about 45 seconds, just so that I could get in everything that I wanted to say to the guy, but also to like respectfully leave him alone as quickly as possible, because he was on, like, he had his kid on tour and his wife and stuff, and I was just like, because I know from being on tour with you as well that like when a gig is over, sometimes you just have to go to the next place, and that's what they were like. So it was like, yeah, just this really weird experience of like, this guy is like one of my favorite people in the world, here's all of the things that I have to say. Yeah, really, really weird.
I mean, what do you say as well?
I think, like, I'm happy with what I said to him, because I like, first of all, saying congratulations on the record is very like affirmative of like,
it's awesome. Yeah.
I love your new album. It's fucking great. Like, well done for making this.
Yeah.
Instead of being all like, oh, you need. Also, I told him that my favorite track off it is Little Nightmares, and then the next night in Belfast, he added it to the set list. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
Gonna claim credit for that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
When I met Bono twice, and both times, the second time I froze up and I didn't know what to say to him.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it was, you know, yeah, I don't know. What did I say? I've never seen you live before.
You said that to him?
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect. I'm really looking forward to it. But I think I said I've seen every single DVD. I've seen you on, you know, but I've never actually seen you live, which is true.
Yeah.
It was my first time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong you can say, like, unless you just
buried him.
Well, actually, there is unless you're just not nice. But
yeah.
It's weird.
That doesn't happen though. You kind of have this like baseline respect for anyone who's successful at what they do. Like I've said on this podcast many times that like I really don't like Coldplay. Like I don't like their music.
I'm a huge fan.
Right. But if Chris Martin walked in here,
he's one of my like inspirations.
Right. And I'm not. You know. There's no way I'd be like, "Hey, Chris, this is what I think of your music." Like, I'd be like, "Hey, man, like, congratulations on your life." Like, you have to have some kind of respect for someone who's achieved stuff. Like,
even if you don't like what they do, you just it's you kind of it's a good way to be.
No, definitely. Like, I mean, there's a lot of artists that I don't get what the hype is, but there's no way that if I saw them, I'd be like, oh, fuck you, you're not even that good, or like
that's just childish.
Yeah, dude, that's
stupid.
That's like Twitter responses.
Immature,
I don't get it at all.
I mean, they're all only human as well. At the end of the day, everybody, you know.
Do you ever get any hate on Twitter? I've never seen a hateful response to you ever, but
yeah, no, I remember one time, just for the crack. I mean, yeah, we have, yeah. Oh, I got a really bad one there recently. Somebody said I looked like a butch lesbian. The lead singer of Kodaline looks like a butch lesbian.
Wow.
Whoever said that, thank you. It's cool. I mean, I'm gonna consciously decide to take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could do what that James Blunt like fucking searches his name on Twitter every day, and
he just shouts. He's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah. I don't know if you like. Yeah, people have said we're just crap and shite and boring and I mean, look, you're never going to impress everybody. We put everything into our music, and you know, we're very lucky that we can go around the world and play shows, and you know, we have fans and they love our music. So as long as we can play shows around the world and people are there singing along, and you know, that's the main thing. You know, there's always going to be haters out there, you know, people who just.
If I were famous and I saw someone talking shit on Twitter, I'd DM them. I wouldn't even tweet it publicly. I'd DM them and be like, yo, I can fucking buy and burn your birth certificate. You stop talking shit.
Jesus Christ. You know, I think if you focused on all the fucking negative shit, you'll just drive yourself crazy.
True to a point, but you can use negativity very.
Oh, you can use it to motivate
like,
you, you know. But as long as it's not nasty, you know, just you know, like. Yeah, I mean, you could fucking go to a house and like knock the doors in and fucking, you know, but like, why bother?
Just this, I don't know. One thing I've noticed is that if somebody makes fun of someone online, a famous person, and the famous person actually replies, they'll wind their neck in instantly and be like, "Oh, I was just kidding, bro. So happy for you," like all that. Like Nep gets it a lot, you know, Nep. Yeah. And like. Nep is very shrewd. He used to be very like, the haters would have gotten to him before. Yeah. But now he's like just so
whatever,
tactful and
kind of takes it with a pinch of salt,
completely,
and just replies the odd time for the absolute crack.
But his replies are like, he could not state more clearly in his replies that this person's opinion does not matter. But also he'll make fun of them. Like, they'll say something really stupid and or whatever, and he'll just be like, well, actually, here's how little I care, and here's how stupid your point is. And then the people are always like, they delete the tweet, or it's mad. Like, he absolutely fucking buries people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, look, if there was loads, I'd probably end up doing that. I don't know. I just don't. I don't see the point in actually even wasting time. Because look, you can't impress anybody. You can't impress everybody, and there's no, like, if someone doesn't like it, they don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair enough. It's like, okay, fine,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I think it's, if you don't like something and yet everybody else likes it, and you're the only voice that's ever like, oh, it's not that good. I think it like makes you angrier.
You get frustrated.
Yeah, because you're constantly put into this position of being like, look, here's honestly why it's not that good. And when you have to reiterate the same points over and over, you start to believe them more strongly and more strongly, because you're just confirming it to yourself. So you obviously get yourself into a level where you're like, I have to destroy this person's life so that the world will recognize that I'm right.
And you think that you can do that by one comment on a YouTube video or on Twitter or something?
One tweet, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
By replying, fuck you.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Hey, I don't do that.
And when did you do this last?
Honestly, I think the only hate message I've ever sent someone, on a famous person on Twitter, is someone who absolutely deserved it. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's someone who I used to like, but then turned out to be a huge criminal. So I was like,
fuck.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus, man.
And I was really dry. It was like fucking 3 a.m. I just come back from the pub and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. So
bullshit.
That's like, shit like that.
That's extreme, though.
Yeah, no, that's as extreme as it gets, I suppose.
I mean, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm a true believer in karma. You know, kind of like what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get back what you put out.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly putting out this negative stuff, you'll just end up being hit by a massive wall of negativity.
It's definitely true in that sense. Like, negativity is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and if you live a negative world, you'll, like, a negative world will live in you.
That makes absolutely no sense. Well done.
You're a dick.
I always trip over my words.
You've just done the equivalent to a troll tweet.
I did that purposely. I wanted to see what you'd say. And alright. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. Wait, what were you saying?
I don't know. Just that negativity is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah,
it's like if you're always putting out negativity and hating on other people or whatever, other people are probably going to hate on you. I mean, you'll be hit by like a big wall of negativity or whatever.
Or an actual wall. Like,
possibly. Could happen to anybody.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know. Sure. Is there any other questions?
There's I think we'll end on this one, and it's from because I have an Android phone. It's from a bunch of boxes with X's going through them.
Cool.
Yeah.
How's it going? A bunch of boxes with a couple of X's going through
them. Twitter handle Lip Silhouette says, "Do you already have?" No, I fucking already read your question. Hey, she asked another question.
Oh.
Do you prefer the writing sessions and being in the studio, or performing your songs live on tour? I think this is probably a no-brainer.
Not really. I absolutely love playing live and singing the songs live, but it's a totally different world to actually writing the songs and being in the studio. I love both. And my honest answer would be, it depends depends how I'm feeling at the time. Sometimes I just really want to write songs.
Yeah.
And other times there comes a point with every song when it's written that you just want to get out there and play it to a crowd, like just to see how they react and how it goes down. But
like that song that I wrote for you about fish.
As I was saying, yeah, I mean it's kind of, I'm kind of caught between the two, but yeah, I think it really depends. I love both. That's all I can say. I love both. They're both amazing.
Off the back of that, to finally end it, from Cahill, favourite song to play live?
Favourite song to play live changes all the time. It's difficult to say. Lately, we have a song called Brother that's been going down really well, I think, because it's new and we just added it to the live set list. And there's a couple other new songs we've added which are really cool. I also love One Day, and The One, another song. Yeah, it's hard to pick. It changes all the time, to be honest. It depends on the gig.
Yeah,
because the crowd's different, everything, the atmosphere is different. Yeah.
I enjoy hearing Lost live.
I love Lost as well.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool song.
It translates really well to
it's
the
a
live
different
show.
Yeah, some of our songs are just totally different live, which I love. I love messing with them and just extending them and making them longer and changing around choruses and stuff and having backing singers there, and yeah, good fun.
Love Like This is actually incredible live.
Yeah, that's a good song.
You recently started feeding into it with the acoustic version.
Oh yeah, we did that for a while. We did a slow version. See, I love doing that, like doing alternate versions of songs and then all of a sudden like building it up and then going into the song.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like the Love Like This.
Ready to Change. That's great live as well.
That's probably my least favourite song to play.
Really?
And I dropped it from the set.
Why don't you like it?
There's just something about it. The song was kind of thrown together and it's alright. Like I don't love it.
I don't know what it is about it that I love. Like, but the melody and the lyrics go together so well. That's always a huge thing.
It's well constructed and all that, but I just feel we have better songs that are more emotional and stuff, and just but look, it's cool. Like it's not that I didn't like it playing it live, it's more that it didn't quite fit in the set for me.
Yeah,
there was other it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb a little bit, so replaced it with something else and just toying around. But yeah, I mean the lads like it. They were kind of, we were divided, kind of thinking, should we or should we not, but it was taken out. So
what about that song I wrote for you about fish?
Yeah, I don't know, but we might we change up our set all the time anyway, so who knows, you know, we'll add songs and take songs out all the time. So yeah, I love that part of playing live, you know, designing a set for a show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Alright, it's been great. I'll show myself out.
Who are you? How'd you get in here? Wait, how'd you get in here again?
I told you your doorman is dead.
Jesus, right. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll get the new doorman to escort you out.
Yeah.
And don't you ever. Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah. Peace. Thanks to all the homies listening.
All you folks out there in Radio Land.
All you folks out there on North Dublin Radio.
Some of you guys may be just getting ready to go to sleep. Nod off to the land of Nod.
Would you nod off to the land of Nod?
I don't know. I'm just trying to do some weird radio
fade out
things. You know, like late night radio.
Oh yeah, I know all about it.
Guys.
You're listening to KBC 102, the Midnight Hour.
Yeah.
El De Niro.
And it's a really relaxing voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna close the set out with Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
We're gonna close the set out tonight, just as you nod off to sleep, with a bit of a classic. You might know it. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow night, same time. Here's Megadeth. Megadeth with
Symphony of Destruction.
In